This is the same thought of like when you get a life sentence without the possibility of parole and you do the appeals process, the appeal is going to be there for you to do. It never works. No, we've already decided what we're doing here. You can appeal all you want. It's not going to work. And it's done too late. I mean, it's basically been done on the day of the match. This was already decided. This wasn't like, hey, we're following rules. No, we just made a call, and this is going to work this time. We made a dumb mistake. We have to try to fix it somehow, and we have to try to appease a guy in Donald Trump who won't let this stop. He'll keep going at in Benito or whatever the guy's name is that rules FIFA. And by the way,
Donnie.
I also do get a kick out of all the the side people that are talking about rules and this and that, these corruption type people. It's like, well, sit this one out, man. Like 6 years ago, you were blazed with corruption as well. It's just a corrupt body. It always has been, always will be. But again, if this was some random guy on Curacao, this doesn't happen.
No. So, and again, it adds to the intrigue tonight. And also this, Jeff. Now everybody's rooting for Belgium. When the hell did the rest of the world ever root for U.S. in any sport at any time? Like this galvanized it. I think it's hilarious, but it is going to be awesome theater to watch that play out, Jeff.
I got to ask you, though, and I know we're going to get to the U.S., but we were talking earlier about this decision. You obviously, you bet soccer. You understand these boards. Obviously, there's certain countries where they'll allow appeals, that sort of thing. You would agree, okay? And again, you have to understand, I'm not one of these biased, I love the U.S., I don't care, I root for them regardless. No, it's a bad decision, and if I'm Belgium, I'd be very irritated. It's a shameful decision, but it's won by a group who generally has no morals or ethics, and they just kind of do what they want. You would agree that deep down, Balogun, whether we agree or not that he was pulled out, he shouldn't have been red carded. It was a bad decision, but he was, and the rules are you don't play in the next game.
Yeah, I think this is a very, very dangerous decision that FIFA made, right? And before I'm a United States men's national team fan, I am a football soccer journalist. So I have to look with an unbiased lens. Whether you believe that the decision should have been made, the fact that it was reversed, the suspension, not the card, the suspension was reversed, is a very slippery slope. Because if they wanted to do this, right, if they wanted to say Balogun is going to be eligible to play in this game and do it above board, I think the only decision they could have made was to drop down the red to a yellow or reverse the card entirely. But FIFA, in the way that they operate, they don't like to admit any wrongdoing. What they like to do is push their chips in the table and say, I'm the big man at the table. I make the decisions. They didn't even bother with that. They just suspended the suspension, similar to what they did with Ronaldo, but it was a totally different scenario, Ronaldo. I think that everything that has happened since the red card has just been kind of a mockery of the game. And listen, I'm so excited Balogun's playing, right? Like, I'm so excited. When I was watching the game, I was at this event and everyone was just wanting to get my opinion. And I just kept saying it should have never been VAR reviewed. That is irrelevant. It happened. And now you're backtracking, and even to make the point even worse, or to make the situation even worse, now they're allowing Belgium to appeal the lifting of the suspension. There's no one who's going to be satisfied in this position. And the fact that FIFA did all of this, all they're doing is just inviting more scrutiny, inviting more of that stigma they have of being a corrupt organization. Because if Belgium wins their appeal, now Balogun's suspended, and the United States men's national team says, well, why did you lift the suspension in the first place if you're just going to come back when you got a little resistance from the outside? It's a very sticky situation.
Yeah, it really is, because you're taking a look at things where we understand it's a red card and that's the end-all be-all, but just the application of the rule where there was no card on the field, then it turned to a red card at that point right now. And I think everybody also likes, on the biggest stage, you want the best players. The NBA does this a lot as well. Hey, get your, 17th tech, you're going to sit a game. Well, it turns out that's the playoffs, and it's Luka Doncic. It's like, oh, we reviewed that here, we're going to take it away. Now, if it was really egregious to me, right, if you take a look and say, as I'm looking at the play right here on my screen, Brad, I don't think that's a red card. And honestly, like, I am a Team USA fan, but if I saw Messi, if I saw Ronaldo, if I saw De Bruyne get that and be like, how could they give that guy a red? I would feel the same way. We want to see the best players on the biggest stage, and even if it is a hated rival that you have, I always get up and say, look, just make the right decision. And I honestly do think the right decision was made, because I didn't think it was a red. But as Jeff points out, and so do you, there is also a formality that happens where now does it open Pandora's box right here?
There's nothing, like, we all agree that it was a bad card. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
That's not the knock here. Okay.
You're
the
right.
knock is you have a rule and we say, well, we're just going to create our own and be like, hey, you're good. Like I said before, and Brad, would you agree that if this was some, you know, ninth best player on Cape Verde, this doesn't happen, right? It's kind of a popularity thing, right? It's going to help soccer, especially in this country. It's going to help people be more interested. It's going to appease Donald Trump, okay? And whether we want to admit it or not, Donald Trump is the most powerful person in the world, arguably, and having him appeased is helpful. They don't want to deal with his nonsense. And as you said, all this does is kick off see, we know FIFA. And look, this will appease the United States in terms of FIFA. Maybe it quells some problems between soccer fans and FIFA. But deep down, this was a decision you just got to stick with. Is it fair? No, but it's how the rules are. Rules aren't always easy.
I think the optics. Yeah, I think the optics get a little worse now that Donald Trump is actually publicly stating that he was a part of this ban getting lifted, right? This should have been, and listen, this is a business at the end of the day. The United States just had the FIFA Club World Cup, then the World Cup, and I'm pretty sure they want to bring the Club World Cup back here because it's really good weather during that time of year. They can get a lot of fan attendance, and the infrastructure is really great for having a lot of fans there. But this should have been one of those backroom deals, right? Like, not saying that it didn't have to be above board, but the fact that you are publicly saying you played a hand as the president of the United States shows favoritism. And it also just shows the fact that it's an utter disrespect to the game and the integrity of the game. I just would prefer that, like, you don't get out there and you don't brag. You don't make all of the other countries feel like the United States is getting preferential treatment.